Hello, it's Lindy Royer, and I'm the founder of Park Meadows Pilates and Physical Therapy in Lone Tree and creator of the Body Truth program. We've been doing a series of indoor golf videos, giving you some tips and techniques for things that you can do over the winter time or just when you're inside, or actually you could do them outside too, so that you get your body prepared for golf. Did you know that every great athlete on the planet doesn't play their game or do their sport to train and to practice and to rehearse? Everybody on the planet who's the best at what they do, whether they're a sports person or an actor or some kind of performer or an artist, they do drills. They don't go out and play 18 holes of golf to practice for golf. They do drills. The best athletes in football in the world do lots and lots of football drills. The game is actually a separate thing from the practice and from the rehearsal. So hopefully you've gotten a few little extra tidbits of the things that we've been through in this series, because those are drills. Those are the things that get your body ready to play the game of golf. The game, though, is a separate thing where you put all of these things together. What I want to talk to you about today is the address position, the position that we get into when we're getting ready to strike the ball. Now, a lot of times what you'll hear about this position is that your spine should be straight or your spine should be flat. If you've seen any of our previous videos, we actually looked at the spine and how the spine is designed. We looked at the pelvis and how that's designed. And what I want you to keep in mind is that the spine is not straight, and it's certainly not straight at address. So I have a stick here. This is straight. Yeah, this is a straight piece of wood. If our spine were like this, it would have no resilience, and it would not actually be able to give us any spring or cushioning or movement. This is not actually a really great model for how we want the spine to be. So at address, the way that we want the spine to be is really in its natural curved state. Let me show you what that looks like. The spine has curves. So when you're standing at address, this shape just tips forward. When we looked at the spine a few videos ago, we talked about the fact that there are these S curves in the spine, where we have a little inward curve in the low back, little inward curve in the neck, and then outward curves in the head and in the back of the ribs and the back of the pelvis. So when you're at address position, all you're doing is you're simply tipping the spine forward over the legs. And with our model here, we have very short, stubby little legs, but I'll show you what it looks like. When you go into your address position, what you're doing is you're tipping the pelvis forward over the femur bone. This is a femur, this is a pelvis. The socket is in the pelvis, the ball is the femur. So here's the way that you could think about it. When you go into address, this is a right femur bone, by the way, you are folding or closing the socket of your pelvis over the ball. So let's say you're standing, and this is the outside of my right leg bone, right here facing you. Here's the ball of the femur. What happens when we go into address is we keep the spine relatively at the same angle and the same alignment, and we simply roll the socket over the ball of the hip. So when we go into address, it looks like this. I'm thinking about my pelvis. So yes, I've got my knees bent, I've got my ankles slightly bent. I'm just simply moving the pelvis forward over my leg, over my femur bone. The mistake that most golfers make is that they go into a little bit of this. Then we take the natural curves out of the spine, and we're not actually in our hip joint for a powerful swing. The other thing that happens is a lot of golf pros will tell you to stick your butt out. As soon as you stick your butt out, you're over contracting the spine muscles in your lower back. You're actually creating tension in your lower back, which will prevent you from getting power into your swing and prevent you from getting the motion in your spine that you need. So do this simple drill in the next couple of weeks. You're going to simply place your fingertips in your hip joints, and you're going to imagine that you're bowing the front of your pelvis toward the front of your femur bones. So all you're doing is you're taking the pelvis, that's these bumpy bones up here, right in the front of the pelvis, you're bowing those bones forward over the front of the femur. So you're picturing, a nice image is it's almost like your pelvis is your eyelid and it's closing over the eyeballs of your femur bone, which is a ball, yeah? The spine stays in the same alignment until you start to take the club back. I hope this is helpful. Start practicing this because we're getting ready to go back to golf soon. I'll see you in the next video.